So I think I'm a bit overdue in terms of some Arcane content. So today I want to go ahead and make a video ranking in a tier list of the characters from Arcane Season 1 and 2 based on how badly their characters were destroyed. So I'll be going over every character for the most part in this tier list and detailing my explanations as to where they go. And yeah, I think you guys get the point. So I have six categories here, going from the worst of them all, the one character I believe to be destroyed more than everyone else, and then at the bottom, a character or a few characters that are still amazing even after Arcane Season 2. Starting off with Violet, I'm going to put Violet straight to Assassinated. I don't think she's up there for the worst of them all. She's at the top of Assass. Like she gets it. I think debatably the worst. And fortunately, I think one other character has it worse than her. But Violet joining the Enforcers and gassing the lanes is something that I'm not really sure why that was their creative decision, and why they didn't back like they didn't really give her any logical reasoning for gassing the lanes. You know, not even like an offhanded comment about how it wasn't actually going to hurt anyone. She gets it pretty bad. I mean, she decides to have sex with Caitlyn right after hearing that her sister's about to kill herself. It's pretty brutal stuff with Violet. I'm like debating putting her in here on worst of all, but I think for now I'm just gonna keep her at like the worst of the worst that's been assassinated. I'm not gonna do Jinx next. I'm not gonna save her for later. Next up, Caitlyn. I'm gonna put Caitlyn in what is going on, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think Caitlyn's arc throughout season 2 of Arcane could have made sense in terms of progression from season 1, but the main issue is she isn't given enough time in each of the roles that she plays. I think she's the character that suffers from the pacing the most out of everyone. Every episode it just feels like she's in a very different spot. She goes from being a dictator in one spot to being back on Violet's team in the next. Very very wishy washy. I wouldn't say she's like top three or top five worst for Arcane season 2, but she's definitely up there. But that's why I think she's just in what is going on, because it's not that they just kill her character so badly per se. It's the fact that she's very wishy-washy in her, I guess, reasoning what she wants to do. Um, I'm also gonna put Mel in what is going on, because I feel like the character, while she wasn't assassinated to the level of Violet, she just changes too much. The Mel we have in season 1 and the Mel we have in season 2 are clearly two very different characters in every way of the word. Season 2 for Mel was definitely a moment where they just wanted to make her a legend in League of Legends, so they shift the character to a what is really going on level of shifting. Jace, where am I putting Jace? Ooh. I don't want to fill up the top two rows too much but like, oh my gosh, this really is that bad. Jace is going in what is going on as well. Again, I wouldn't say he's to the level of Violet, but I think he spends a lot of Arcane season 2 doing things that don't make any sense even with context. And I think that's why more than anything he belongs in the what is going on category, because none of his decisions, none of his lines, none of the things he does really make any logistical sense, especially for a logistical person. And his character arc is just very odd in season 2. Just his whole, it's just odd character. So I think firmly in what is going on. Who do I want to put next? I'm going to save Jinx for later. Let's do Singed. Singed is going in lightly damaged but alive. I think the only true downgrade for Singed for season 2 is he loses all of like his true scientific genius and just becomes like, yeah, I plug things in and things happen. But I think there is still some enjoyment to be had with this character. His monologue that he gives to Caitlyn and Ambessa about how love is what pushes him and how that's what pushes everyone was actually really, really good. I wouldn't say he is perfect coming from season 1 into season 2, definitely much better in season 1, but still a solid enough character for season 2. Who do I want to do next? Okay, I'm going to just do some of these lesser characters, just get them out of the way. Milo and Clagger. I'm going to put them in still amazing, just because in the alternate universe, while I don't love their characters and I don't think their trajectories make a whole lot of sense, I don't see them as the same characters. And since they obviously aren't in season two, they're still amazing characters from season one. The only disappointing thing with this, no, I'll keep Milo down there. I think him not being a part of Jinx's psyche is more has a negative effect on Jinx more than it has a negative effect on Milo. Who next? Do I want to do the Hex? I do want to do the Hexcore. Okay, the Hexcore as a character, as an idea. Um, Again, what is going on here? I think coming from season one into season two, this was the thing I was the most worried about, just because I wasn't sure how expansive they were going to be with the Hexcore. I think in season one it's a bit confusing, but it still is grounded for the most part. In season two, I think it's that by definition the Hexcore is what is going on because no one ever really knew what was going on with the Hexcore. I feel like I might have to make like another one in between this. Let me add another one. I want to add like I want to add a list above it, add row above, and I'll put this one be like number, just the number one, just absolute worst character. This will be like just, so here, I'm going to do this. She's going in worst of them all, and I'll keep that there for now. So this is going to be for one character. The rest are going to be, like ones that are close are going to be in the worst of them all. Coming up next, we're gonna do Ekko. I'm gonna go into Assassinated, and I know this is a really hot take, because I know people. This is one of the few characters people really liked after the ending of Arcane season two. The reason I'm putting this character in Assassinated is his values really change. So in season one, Ekko's whole character revolves around the fact that he's about his community, about trying to be a leader for this new place they now calls home. In season two, he's just a Jinx simp. That is all he is. When he comes back to his own universe, his first thought isn't, let me go check on the tree, let me go check on my friends, my communities, let me go check on my wannabe fake girlfriend. They completely misunderstood the character of Ekko from season one, and they completely destroyed him. Really, really not good. And who else? Who else? What next? Let's do. You know what? I'm gonna throw Isha in here. This character, even though I can't compare her to season one, just as a whole, just as an arc as a whole, I'm gonna put her in probably the worst of them all as well. I feel like this character was one massive plot device, to the point where after she literally sacrifices her own life to protect these quote unquote protect, even though nothing's really accomplished. No one really mentions her anymore. This character is just a blatant plot device. So I'm gonna put her in the worst of them all. Who next? Let's do a character I still like. Okay, I think one of the only few characters that I'm comfortable putting still amazing is Marcus. Because Marcus has literally nothing to do in season two because, well, he's not in it. His arc from season one stays intact. His character integrity stays intact. His arc still makes sense. Still an amazing character. Ironic that this was the character that got the most hate coming out of season one. I think he's probably in the running for one of the best characters overall now, which is really funny. Another character that I would throw in the still amazing is, oh my god, Grayson. I forgot her name for a second. Grayson. Grayson is still an amazing character. All of her development from season one sticks. Nothing has changed. Pretty solid. Who else do I want to do here? Let's do Miss Kierman. Let's do her. Cassandra Kierman. In terms of the damage that happens between season one and season two, she's kind of a side character for the most part. Um, I actually think she's just okay. Lightly damaged but still alive. I don't love her role in season two because, well, she's not in it. I think the impact she has on Caitlyn is interesting though, so I'd still say she's a pretty solid character overall. Heimerdinger, where are we putting him? Straight to Assassinated. And what makes me so upset about this character is it's really not even his fault that he's here. It's just the creators of Arcane have gone on record saying that they don't really like this character all that much. And they didn't really know what to do with him. So they just kind of make him useless and then just have him do a very cliche moment of I'm sacrificing myself for my new pupil. Very unfortunate that he doesn't get any screen time in season two. In season one, he was a main character. I mean, being the leader of Pildover is obviously a no joke role in the story, and just to see him go from this pillar to not even a shadow of what he once was just very sad to see. And I think I am actually going to put this in. Yeah, I'm for the most part putting this in order of stuff that like Vi would be the worst right now, and then it would descend like this. You know, I'm gonna drop Isha down to here, put Ekko up here. Okay, who's next? Let's do Ambessa, a character that not a lot of people talk about in terms of being assassinated. She is going to worst of them all. Ambessa is one of the most interesting characters for me towards the end of season one, but what really hurts this character so much is literally every value that she values gets betrayed the moment she joins Victor. So her whole thing is like strength, getting strength from the earth, training, being strong through conventional means, and her teaming up with this guy that we will get to soon breaks every aspect of her character immediately, and that's why she's up here in this like very high echelon of the worst of the worst. The next character in terms of who got it the worst, we're going to go. Who do I want to do? Who do I want to do? I'm not gonna do Powder just because she like. I'm gonna do her and Jinx together, I guess. From season one to season two, let's do Sevika. Interesting character. I'm going to put Sevika in not good but not great, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think the problem with Sevika isn't that her character gets damaged so much, it's just that her character is left with nothing to do. After the first few episodes of Arcane Season 2, she kind of just disappears till the ending, where she just appears at the council, and it's the point where I thought this character was going to have a much larger role in the story, and she does get some, like, the starts of good development in Season 2 when she talks to Jinx about the loss of Silco, but because she just doesn't have enough screen time, she goes from, like, a really great main character of Season 1 to just this henchman side character. That's why I throw her in not good but not great. Let's do... Okay, I'm not going to do a lot more just because, like, all of these side characters don't matter to me as much, especially because they aren't in Season 1. Let's do... Alright, this is like a big four right here. I think I just gotta... Let's see, anyone else I can do over here? None of these characters are really prevalent in Season 1, so it's kind of hard for me to rank them. Let's do Victor next. Victor is assassinated. I don't know. No, I do. I'm trying to think. Where do I hate Victor's arc more than these three? I'm dropping Ambessa down here, putting Victor up here. Victor's arc is really bad because everything that he values slowly becomes compromised because of this convoluted plot they're pushing onto the story for the sake of telling a great story, not a good one. I often say that Victor's line from season one, where he says, "In the pursuit of great, we fail to do good," actually sums up his entire character arc in terms of what the writers were trying to do with him. They were trying to do this like really massive villain story that is multi-layered and stuff, and then end up just losing the heart of the character to the point where he changes so much you don't even really, when you get to the ending of Arcane Season 2, there's nothing left of this character, but not in a way by design. It doesn't, that's not a good thing. It just doesn't, character does not work. It's very sad. Okay. Let's go. Let's do Jinx next. I'm going to put Jinx right here. So I think Jinx is a little less bad than Violet in terms of what happens to her character, but it's still really brutal. I think what makes Jinx's character arc so hard to watch in season 2 is just how high her peak is in season 1. I think teaming her up with Isha was a massive mistake. Her arc is rushed in every sense of the word. Her mental illness basically just disappearing was just a load of BS. I made an hour and 20-minute video on how this character just falls apart on every level. Jinx is definitely top 3 in terms of getting it the worst. But she is not top 1. That I am saving for another character. Okay, so I'm only gonna do a few more. And who do I want to do next? I'm not gonna rank any of these people that matter. Okay, final 2: Silco, and Vander. These 2 are tied for number 1 for me in terms of truly the worst treatment by Arcane Season 2, because yeah, I'm assuming, hopefully, maybe some of you have seen this video, but if not, I recommend going and checking out my video on Blisters and Bedrock. I really go into detail about why these 2 don't work, as far as Blisters and Bedrock not working for their characters. Because of the reveal in Blisters and Bedrock and the letter, and the fact that they knew Jinx and Violet's parents, or Powder Violet's parents, and their motivations, these 2 characters change so much that if you go back to Season 1 trying to respect the canon of Season 2, you cannot view them as the same people. I think one of the only true retcons of Season 2, like something that is just so blatantly wrong, is Blisters and Bedrock, is everything that happens with Vander and Silco. And these 2 characters are so misunderstood. I mean, Vander comes back as Warwick and then dies like 3 or 4 more times. Silco was categorically misunderstood by the creators of Arcane. I have like 3 videos on Silco talking about how they destroyed his character. He was someone they never even wanted to be liked in the first place. So yeah, these 2 are definitely tied for the characters that get the worst treatment by Arcane Season 2. So in descending order, I have these 2 tied for first, Violet, and then going like this, just down that row, you can see who I think is the quote-unquote worst character, and then, yeah, you guys get the point. But anyway, thank you for watching, just kind of my general thoughts, ranking the characters that I've made longer videos on. I encourage you to check out all those videos if you like this type of content. I'll probably be making some more Arcane content in the future. I've been moving and life's been really busy recently, so that's why my upload schedule has been a bit more lackluster. But I will be bringing back the longer form daily content for you guys. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you made it in this video, thank you again. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.